I am feeling really worn down this week. So this week's pantry meal for our weekly meal prep is going to be really easy, really simple. If you want to see super simple pantry cooking, this is the video for you. If you're new to our channel, I'm Julia. I'm one half of the Canny Couple. We're a small homestead family in rural Virginia that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And if you're new to our channel, we would also really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe. That would really help us out. So I'm feeling worn down. I'm worn down mama this week. And because of that, I asked Darren if I could just go super simple with our meal plan. And he was just fine with that because he could tell I'm getting really tired. And I'm also getting tired of food because I'm on like a mostly protein-based diet at the moment. He and Isabel are eating regular food, what I call regular food, like what I would normally fix. It's making it harder for me to just come up with an easy, simple meal plan or like a one-pot meal. Nothing's one pot at the moment. So I asked if I could just make this a really simple meal plan this week. He's like, that's fine. And what we're having this week is I'm going to make a fruit and berry bread. It's bananas and we're going to use blueberries. Aaron's having sandwiches. Isabel and Aaron are having sandwiches. I've got bread already made here. Pulled it out of the freezer. This is what meal prep is all about here. We'll get some of that sliced up. And then we are having tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches for Aaron and Isabel. And I am going to be making myself some homemade chicken nuggets. That's what they call them. I don't really consider them chicken nuggets. It's more like little chicken blobs that aren't fried or anything like that. So let's go with it and get started. It's a really basic, very, very basic meal plan here. For my breakfast, I'm going to have hard-boiled eggs, which I've already cooked. I've got to get those peeled. And also going to make some keto pancakes from a mix that we got on sale. So let's get started with our soup. This is really important to start with it first because the longer it cooks, the better it's going to taste, of course. The longer tomato soup cooks. I'm going to tell you my tomato soup recipe is so simple, it's not even funny. It's tomatoes. You can add broth to it, you can add anything, but for me, this time I'm just doing tomatoes. All it needs and seasoning. And then just let it cook and sit. You can also add milk to it as well. So I've got my canned tomatoes here. I have 3 quarts. And I can have a little bit of this, but mine is like a half of a cup. So I can't have a huge amount of this, but Isabel will eat the tomato soup. And Aaron loves tomato soup and grilled cheeses. I'm just gonna pour all 3 of these into my stock pot here. No, not really a stock pot. And then we're just going to let it cook down for a little while. And I already checked these. They all smelt good. They were fine. Whenever Aaron brought them up, I always look them over before I start opening. Get those into the sink. And now we're going to turn on the stove. I'm going to turn it on to a medium-high heat to start off to get it started. Now here is my secret to my tomato soup. I'm going to use garlic, and I'm going to use this sun-dried rosemary sun-dried tomato seasoning. The only thing I use it for is my homemade tomato soup, and it makes it taste so nice, so wonderful. Doesn't matter what else you put into it. This is stuff that makes it taste really, really good. Oh, it just smells amazing. But I'm going to go light on it. I'm going to put probably 2 tablespoons. You're like, Julia, that's not light, because everybody does seasoning in teaspoons. I do seasonings in tablespoons and cups. 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 cup seasoning. I can't season enough for Aaron. Here we have some garlic, and I'm going to probably do about a tablespoon of it. So, and then that's it. All I'm doing to that. I'm going to let it cook, and then I will take the immersion blender to it. We're just going to put the lid on it. Super simple, easy peasy dinner. I like easy peasy. Easy peasy makes me happy. All right, let's make this fruit banana berry bread. All right, here's my recipe. Very, very basic. Very, very simple. I already have 2 eggs in my bowl here. And I have my bananas. We had about 4 bananas in here that I've got smushed up to the best that I could. I'll smush them up just a little bit more. Isabel, we had to have a big bunch of bananas, so she couldn't eat them all, and I couldn't get them feed them to Erin either. Now, I will tell you, I don't like banana bread. I don't really like bananas. Isabel does. Erin likes bananas, but they have to be on the green side. So these were getting, they were not quite on the ripe side, but they were getting ripe enough that I wanted to get rid of them. So I'm just going to go through, scramble that egg, get that banana a little bit more incorporated. I don't care if it's like, they don't really care if it's just, as long as it's not super chunky. I don't feed for like Michelin star ratings. I feed my people to get them full and to hope they enjoy the food. That's really all I care about when I feed my people. And I know a lot of other people disagree with that, but for me, it makes it more enjoyable for me to cook if I can make it as simple and easy as possible. Now we're going to go ahead and add our salt. I need a teaspoon. I'm just eyeballing that salt there. We're going to add our sugar. And it says 1 1/4 cups of sugar. So as you know, I'm trying to use less. We're going to be using canned berries in this recipe. So I'm actually only going to do 3/4 cup of sugar here. Because with canned berries, they already have sugar in them. Where I can them, I don't really think I need to add as much sugar to it. Set that to the side. Got the bananas in there, the eggs. Now we need to do the oil. We need a 1/2 cup of oil here. Let's see. We'll use our 1/4 cup twice. So I just use olive oil in all of my baking needs. I've not found it to be any different compared to whatever you use. I like having just one oil to use. It's a lot easier. It takes up a lot less room in my pantry. And for us, I have a very sensitive palate. I know a lot of people say you can tell. I can't tell. I cannot taste a difference, not one way or another. Like I cannot tell you a single difference between this oil, using this or other oils, other than it doesn't even change the texture. It doesn't change any of it. So I don't quite understand that. Let's see what else we have. We have liquid. Now here's where we're going to get creative. We're going to take the liquid from these blueberries. And that's what they are. These are just canned blueberries. And this is a lot of blueberries. We're not putting all the blueberries in here right now. What we're going to do is whenever I serve this, I will serve it with some blueberries on top as well. So that way it goes a little bit further and I can get rid of as much of this as I need to. And I need 1/2 cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate out some of this syrup. Trying not to spill the liquid here. Trying not to make a mess is what I'm trying not to do. Don't want to make a mess. We're going to fill this 1/4 cup twice. I think I'm going to have a fork. Just because I need to push it back a little bit. And I thought I had more liquid in here, but I guess I don't. So we're just going to go with it. We're just going to pour. This is where you get creative. I'm just going to go ahead and add an extra amount of berries in here, and it should be enough. If it looks too dry, I can always add water. I'm going to do there's 1/2 of my berries, and let's see, how many more berries do I need? 1 cup, so I need 4 more of these. I like to reuse measuring cups, and here's why. Especially if it's the same meal, it saves me a lot less cleaning. I like to reuse skillets. When I make breakfast, I try to make it all in one skillet, one bowl. If I can, I do it safely. Like I don't use like whatever I'm mixing raw eggs in, I try not to reuse that or anything. So I always try to be careful. But I feel like for me, it makes my cleanup a lot less. Since I, like if I cook meat, I'll fry my eggs in my meat. Especially if it's like bacon, it's got the bacon grease already in the skillet. That makes a lot more sense to me. So here we have it so far. Now we need to add the flour and the baking soda. So I'm actually just going to use baking powder. To me, they both work about the same. They do taste a little bit different, but you have to be careful about how much you use. I'm just going to use baking powder because it was handy for me to grab. And I'm going to use about that's probably about 2 teaspoons. I have accidentally used too much baking soda before. I read it wrong and I put 3 tablespoons per batch and I made a double batch. So I had a huge amount. Like I put a huge amount of baking soda in a recipe and you could tell. I was told it did not taste right. Aaron was like, this tastes a little off. Like, did you do something different? I'm like, yeah, I did. I made a mistake. And he's like, I can tell. It's part of cooking. You learn. One time I made pumpkin pies. I forgot to put the sugar in it. I was like, what? This was our first time. This was Aaron's first Thanksgiving with us. He had no idea. I was like, I messed this up and I need you to go to the grocery store and get a pumpkin pie. He's like, what's wrong with it? I said, I don't know, but it doesn't taste right. And I had forgotten to add the sugar. Pumpkin pie just does not taste as good without the sugar. So here we go. Now we're going to mix. And I'm going to mix with a fork. I'm a fork mixer. You can use a spoon. You can do it in your blender. However you like to do it. It doesn't really matter. Whatever's easiest for you. I'm just a fork person myself. And I don't have that many berries. This is going to be a huge amount of extra berries on top. It is going to be plenty moist enough. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's going to be good. Aaron's going to like this. He likes this recipe a lot. I don't make it often, especially if it's something I need to eat. I hate bananas. Hate them. And I had to eat them when I was pregnant with the little one because I was getting leg cramps really bad. I mean, really bad. Huge softball size knots in my leg. And I had to eat bananas for potassium, and that helped. It helped a lot. I stopped having them when I was eating bananas, but it was like, I hate this. I hate the bananas. I was able to choke them down, but ever since then, she loves them though. The little one just loves them, and Aaron will eat them. It's a good way to use them up. So if you have extra bananas, this is a really good, your family likes things like this. You can use fresh fruit. I have a lot of fresh fruit right now. It's starting to come on, but it's not quite ready, so we're still eating the can. I know a lot of people ask, like, where's the fresh food? So we grow a lot of our fruits and a lot of our vegetables and put those away to use throughout the year. That is kind of how we help ease our grocery budget and keep it so low. But we grow tons of our own fruit. Berries, I'm going to say never. We do buy some berries. We will buy strawberries because our strawberry patches aren't to the point where we can produce enough of those. And they're like a smoking good deal and they're not in season for us. I might buy some fresh berries, but I'm going to tell you that's very, very few and far between. This does not happen very often. So I've got my pan here, and it is pre-greased. And if Aaron doesn't eat this all throughout the week, what I'll do is I'll cut off a piece, and whenever I can see how much he can eat of it, because he's a little finicky when it comes to how much breakfast he wants. Sometimes he wants more, sometimes he wants less. It depends on what the meal is. Like pumpkin bread, I don't have to worry about it. He will eat it all. He will eat it all. Not an issue. But something like this, and I'll try it with Isabel, see if she likes it as well. She might at this point, she's really liking berries and bananas. But Sometimes he wants just a small amount, like an itty bitty amount, and sometimes he wants like a half of it, depending on what we're eating. I don't know yet. And we'll see if she likes it. I think she might. She's been eating our honey berries like straight off the vine. And I'm going to tell you something. They did get sweeter this year. In the first few years, I didn't want them. I didn't even want to look at them. They were just, they're just so sour. This year they're a little sweeter, but I'm not a berry person. I'm not a berry. I don't like it's berries. It's everything I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat berries. I don't want to eat the banana. Like, okay, I'll fix myself something else. So I'm having keto chocolate chip pancakes, and we're going to make it like a Dutch baby. These do not fry very well. So the last time I made these, I made them up and they broke. So I'm like, I'm just going to do these like a Dutch baby. I'm just going to bake them like a muffin, be done with it. I'm not even going to try to do this. And what I will do is I'll cut the pieces up so I only get the portion I need to have. So I'm very careful with my portions right now because of this diet that I'm on. This diet's to try to help me feel better, not for anything else. Really, right now, that's the main focus is how do we get Julia to get back to 100% instead of feeling good at, like I feel amazing if I'm at 60%, but we're really working hard to get to 100. So I need 1 1/4 cups of water. So I'm going to use my half cup here. The reason I'm using my half cup is because these handy dandy things Erin got me, they have well, you can see better here. They actually have like the force in there. They're just so nice. They will tell you. And I will just eyeball it here. I'm going to get some water real fast. And we're just going to get a cup right now, and then we will add the rest later if needed. And I'll have a sink full of jars. I like when I cook from my pantry like this, I always have a sink full of jars. It never fails. I will have a massive sink of jars, which in a way makes me feel very accomplished, but another way I'm like, I've got to clean these and put them away. I'm trying to fill them up just as fast as I empty them out. I'm really, really trying hard to fill them back up with, canned meat. I'm going to try canning carrots this week. I think it would make that carrot casserole, carrot souffle thing that I made, I think it would make it taste really, really good if I just had it ready to go canned. So I'm hoping I can get some of those canned because we have some organic carrots that I don't think we'll eat fast enough. And I don't need this extra water. I just needed a cup. And because I just used water, I'm going to set that over there on my drying mat. Might need it again here in a minute. And my dish here is greased. We're just going to pop it over here. I like using the oven. I feel like this is lazy cooking. I like using the oven because then I don't have to flip it and stand over it, and I can just let the oven do the cooking. And I don't have to worry with it. I'm like, hey, we're done. That's my personal preference. These do taste good. They're not perfect. They're a little gritty because it's not flour. It's like an almond flour. I want to say it's a different, not like traditional flour. I would prefer traditional flour pancakes personally, for me personally. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this bread sliced up. So I made, you're like, these are tiny, teeny loaves. Yes, they are. I made mini loaves whenever I was making a whole bunch of bread. And I'm going to be making a whole bunch of bread here in a couple of weeks just because it's warm and I can fill my freezer. I'd rather fill my freezer with bread to get it so I have it ready. I want to have it all ready and I don't have to worry about it later. And what I want to do is go ahead and get one of these loaves sliced up. But I took like a full loaf and I cut it in half. So that way I could just pull out what I needed. And Like for the meal prep this week, I would need 2 of these mini loaves. And this kind of also helps me control the proportions for Erin and for Isabel, because Isabel doesn't eat a huge sandwich. Sometimes she might, and I'll go make her another one, but for the most part, she'll start with a little one, or like half of one, and she, you know, she might eat it, she might not. But they're going to be having peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch. You see, it's like the perfect size. It's not a huge amount. And then Erin should be getting salads here in the next week or 2, because we have fresh lettuce. It's almost ready. It's like this tall right now. And once it gets just a little bit taller in the middle of this week, I'll be able to cut him and he'll have a fresh salad with a sandwich. And I know I'm feeding a lot of bread this week, and that's okay. And I don't try to do this perfectly. I just try to get it as cut as I can, but also try not to tear the sides up too bad. So I will shift my bread around if it feels like. So this one right here kind of started to tear a little bit. You can kind of see it tore. But where I shifted it around just a little bit, it got a little bit better. I know some people use like an electric knife. I find this little thing that I pulled out of my pantry, I pulled out of my cabinet somewhere. I don't know where it came from. It works just fine. And Erin loves having the bread. He can't tell that it's frozen. That I froze it. It works out so well. I love having a freezer full of fresh bread. It makes my life so much easier. Like today, I don't feel like cooking bread, so I can pull out 2 loaves of mini loaves of bread, and hey, we're done. And I like doing the mini loaves especially for freezing it, because it keeps it from where I don't have like a huge loaf that I have to cut in half. So I will either take a big loaf and cut it in half so I can separate it and pull out what I need, or I'll do the mini loaves and just pull out what I need. If I need 2, I'll pull out 2. If I only need 1, I'll only pull out 1. So we're going to put this back into the baggie, and it will go in the refrigerator till we're ready to use it. And when I get ready to make the grilled cheese sandwiches, all I do, bacon grease, skillet, pieces of cheese, and bread. That's it. That's it. If you want mayonnaise on yours, you can do mayonnaise. I know some people use mayonnaise on the other side of there. Some people do butter. I have found bacon grease does fine. It does fine. You melt it, put the bread in, and you're done. But I don't need to cook those yet. I'll make those a little bit later. And this saves me time. I like to save myself time. So let's clean off my cabinet here. Like I said, this is a lazy mom. Not lazy. I hate that word. I know there probably are, but I think for the most part, moms are just tired. This is a tired mom meal prep. This is a really tired, worn out mom meal prep, and that's what we're going with. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So in this bowl here, we're making this chicken. They're called chicken nuggets, and I've made these before. I'm changing up the recipe just a little bit. So what it is 1.5 quart of chicken breast that we canned at home. I went ahead and drained all the liquid off and got it in the jar. It's probably about 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, and it is 5 eggs. We're going to add salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, and because Isabel's going to eat these, normally I would load it with this New Orleans Cajun seasoning because it's something I would eat. Isabel's going to eat this probably. She likes these, and I'm expecting her to want these, or if Erin wants them, he can have them. I'm really expecting her to want these because I make these for her. This is the first time I made these for me. I usually make these for her when we're having something that I don't think she'll like chicken and dumplings. She's not at that point where she's like, ooh, I want to eat the dumplings. She's like, I'll try it. And she'll eat a little bit. She's like, oh, okay, that's good. And then she's like, but I want something else. So I try to make sure I have alternatives or an easy meal that I can fix her. So we're going to be careful. She likes heat. She likes heat. She likes a little bit of heat. She likes a little bit of warm, but I don't want to burn her up either. And we're going to do a little bit of garlic here. Because garlic, it just makes everything taste a little bit better. And we're just going to break up this chicken. You can see here, I'm just going to, this chicken where it was pressure canned, it just falls apart. It's so flaky. I will tell you, I'm getting a little sick of it because this is what I've been eating. This is how my diet's worked and how I've saved money, is because I've been eating the things I've already canned. I'm getting a little sick of the canned chicken, so I had to have another way to eat it. Because normally what I would do, I thought about making like an egg wrap. I was like, God, I don't feel like it. I do not feel like trying to make the egg and keep it flat and put the chicken on it and wrap it up. These take a little bit of time, but they're so much easier for me personally. I think it's all about perspective and what you personally find easier. As you can see, we're just going to, and I will tell you, this I'm just going to lay it in the pan, and then it's kind of like he said it's going to be like one big nugget, but it will cook, and whenever it gets cooked, the egg's cooked all the way through, then we just cut it into the pieces that we want. I don't care if this is shaped like a chicken nugget. That takes too much time for me to eat it personally. I go with speed, I go with ease, I go with all of that. That's my main focus when it comes to cooking. I want to make it as easy on myself as possible. I want to make it as simple on myself as possible. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any huge chunks of chicken like this. It's kind of big. So just taking that fork, shredding it, getting it all incorporated. This will help bulk up my meal because I can't have a sandwich, and then I can have that extra protein. We are boiling. My stove is clean, my countertops are clean. So if you all yell at me, I've always set a spoon on the stove. I know some people get spoon rest. I would rather just clean the stove than have another dish to have to wash, because I have to clean the stove anyways. And I don't have a glass top stove. I have a coil top. It's electric. I would not have a glass top because I can. And if I have something that's really heavy, it couldn't go on the glass top. Like my Amish bath canner, it's a double burner canner. So the amount of water that goes into it, I would be terrified it would break it. They do have a really neat one now that has a backup battery in it. So if you lose power, it's supposed to work. And I thought that was pretty awesome. If I didn't need this one, that would be one I would go for. I'm sure it's more expensive, but the fact that you could still cook when the power's out, and I know you can do that with gas. Gas for us is too hard to put in. It was too hard to install, and also too hard for where we would put a gas tank and all that. Okay, so we're just going to get all of this out. As you can see, kind of shredded really nice. It smells yummy. It smells Cajun-y, which I love. I love that seasoning, and I love it with honey. I like to take like a chicken breast. Now, if I see any big chunks here, I'll get those down. I like to take chicken breast and mix that seasoning really heavy on the chicken. Let it cook in a broth, and then add honey to it. Oh, so yummy. Aaron likes that too. It's one of our favorite meals. We don't get to have that very often with Isabel now, but it is yummy. I don't know, she might really, really like it. She tends to lean our way when it comes to food more than any little kid I've ever seen. She just really, really likes that kind of spicy. We're just going to make sure there's no big chunks here. Got one more right there. I'm going to lay it out. Like I said, you can do these individually where you take it, and I would just pat it out with a spoon. You can use your hand like that, but this is for me. I don't really care, just as long as it's going to fill me up and, you know, keep me from starving. Not that I'm in any danger. I'm just gonna pat that down. And then what I'll do is whenever we get done, I'll cut this out, pull it out, and then this will be my meal for the week after that egg and the cheese is cooked. Now I have to do myself something for lunch. So what I'm doing is I took out some canned deer that we have, some canned venison. I pulled that out, and I've got, like, I drained out most of the liquid except for a little bit. And I'll season it as I get ready to eat it. I'll usually use hot sauce or something like that, but I am going to add some bouillon to it just so it's got a good flavor. But I just put it in the oven. I'm going to let it cook with everything else. Yeah, we're just going to add a good bit, a good scoop there, just to help get a little bit more flavor and just a little bit more. And I'm also going to add a little bit of salt. I did not season this when I canned it, so we're going to add a little bit of salt as well. So I'm going to get everything in the oven, 350 degrees, cook it all till it's done. Whenever the chicken's golden brown, whenever the bread comes out clear with a toothpick, whenever the pancakes come out clear with a toothpick, I'm guessing it's probably going to take about 40 minutes to an hour for everything to cook, and then I'll bring out all the meat. The chicken will not take that long. The chicken will take probably about 20 minutes. I have overcooked it a few times where it doesn't get like burnt, but it's a little bit crispier than we prefer. I am going to go ahead and get the soup ready for its next phase. I need to dig out I would show you all this cabinet, but it's a mess. I need to dig out my trivet. This is one, I don't think it's supposed to be a trivet, but that's what I use it for because it's perfect. Aaron says he thinks it's supposed to be something else, but I use it as a trivet and it works really, really well, especially for meals like this. For my Instant Pot, I can set it on here and it fits perfect. Now, my canner doesn't fit on here, which is one of those things that, you know, okay, I have to use 4 trivets for my canner to sit on top. I need to move that before it burns. Sorry about that. You can't see that. I'll try to tip it for you all so you can see it. It is beautiful, beautiful soup. Smells divine. Just a little bit of that seasoning. That's all you need, just a smidget of that seasoning, that Tuscan. Makes it wonderful. It's wonderful seasoning. And now I'm just going to take my immersion blender to it. And this is how I make tomato soup. A lot of times, especially if I'm like in a exhausted mode or I need to do a quick meal. This is it. This is one of those meals that's just so fast. Now, I will tell you, you have to be careful. You will burn yourself. So, and I'm just going to blend this up, and I'm sorry, it's a little loud. And you can also add a little flour if you want it a little thicker. I can't add flour to this because I'm going to be eating it. But if you wanted it just a little bit thicker, you could add it. But I don't think it's going to need it. And so I'm going to keep blending this up just a little bit more. Make sure it's good and smooth. Isabel surprised me the last time I made tomato soup. She actually really, really enjoyed it. It was one of those meals that she's like, ooh, that's yummy. She was eating all of mine because I didn't think she would actually eat it. She's definitely a tomato. She likes tomato products, so tomato girl. Okay, that is it. We are done. It is smooth. That looks yummy. Oops, and I made a mess. It's part of kitchen life, I guess. You make a mess. And I'm just going to let this sit, let everything cook. And whenever it all gets done, I'll show you what it looks like. Because now we just got to cook it all. This was a really easy meal prep this week. That was my main focus here. So let me get all this in the oven. Everything's finished in the oven. It's almost dinner time, so let's finish this meal up and I'll show you all what it looks like and what we're going to be eating for the week. So here is the banana muffin or banana berry bread. It's a little stuck there. and it turned out really good. It smells very banana-y, like very banana-y, so we'll see. But I'm actually going to do a little bit extra to use up the rest of this to make this more berry-ish. I can't make anything too much berry for Aaron, but first I want to get the soup off the eye and get the sandwich started. So let me show you what that soup actually looks like. So I had Aaron do a quick taste test to make sure it tasted okay. I know I'm putting it in my skillet. This is what that looks like. It turned out really good. It's nice and creamy or smooth from where we did that immersion blender. See that? And it's not as thick as I would normally like it. I'd like to be a little bit thicker, but because I can't add a thickener to it, because I don't want to add more veggies today or anything that was of my restrictions, it's going to be okay. It'll be fine. They're going to eat it with a sandwich and they'll enjoy it. So I'm not terribly worried about that. So let me move my skillet here. It's not hot, but just to make sure. I'm going to set that here. Here is the beef, the venison that I did. It's just simple, basic, and that's what I will eat. I'll probably put hot sauce on that. And here is the chicken I'm going to be having for dinner today, or dinner this week. It looks good. It looks good. It looks like a cheesy chicken. Probably better with some cream cheese and, you know, like a noodle. I probably like that better. A little drizzle of honey there. And this is what, like I said, everything just came out of my breakfast turned out. It got a little darker than I prefer, but it'll be fine. It will be fine. It almost looks like a cornbread, but I know it's like a pancake. And that's almost the texture this has, like a traditional cornbread. That little bit of grit you get with cornbread. So what I have in this skillet is some bacon grease that I keep in my refrigerator. What I do is Aaron's got me a bacon grease collector. Whenever I cook bacon, I pour it in and I just use it up. And turn it on a medium-high heat here. And then I have our bread ready to go. And whenever this melts a little bit, I will start making these sandwiches. But while we're waiting for the bacon grease to cook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use up the rest of this and finish up Aaron's breakfast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and come and cut some holes in this bread. Kind of tilt this over so you all can see it a little bit better. We're just going to come over here like you're doing a poke cake. Just going to get it nice and holes. And what I want to do is I want any of the liquid to kind of soak into the bread so it's not dry. So first I can tell you it's not dry. You can see it's very moist. You see all that banana sitting there, but make sure all that berry flavor really is forefront for Aaron. We're just going to pour that slowly. And then we will just top it off with all those berries. And this saves me time later. I don't have to pull out berries. I don't have to pull out multiple things for breakfast. All I have to do is cut him a piece. He can heat it up or eat it cold, whatever he wants. I'm all about saving time. Like, that is my thing. Like, if you're looking for ways to save time in the kitchen, I'm your girl, because I hate wasting time in the kitchen. It is like one of those things that drives me nuts. I'm like, why does it have to take this long? So one of the reasons I don't show you why I can, because while I'm a very traditional canner, I would not say I'm a rebel canner by any means. I follow recipes and I follow the instructions. I'm also like a common sense canner. And, you know, I will make adjustments if they make sense. Like, if it doesn't actually hurt the food or hurt anything like that, I will make adjustments that make sense to me because of ease of use. So that's just one of those things that I personally do. And we're just going to let that sit. Aaron's going to taste test all this in a little bit for you all, so you all can get a full glimpse of what everything looks like. Okay, so I'm going to move that bacon grease around just a little bit. And I'm going to take one piece of bread and we get just a little bit of bacon grease on it, just a smidge. And we're going to do another piece of bread. You can do 2 at a time. I just do 1 at a time so I don't burn myself like that. And what we want to do is make sure that both sides get bacon grease on them. I'll do this with butter. I'll do this with everything. And then I'm just going to take my skillet. If you don't know how to make a grilled cheese, I know most of y'all know how to make a grilled cheese. This is how I do it, and it works for me. I also love to make grilled cheeses in the oven. I think that makes so much more sense. It's so much easier, so much faster, especially if you're doing them in bulk. You put the butter on there, you pop them in the oven, you are done. You are done. I mean, that's all day, every day. So we're going to put 1 piece of cheese on that one. The other one I'm going to do 2. We're going to pop it into there with the grease side up already because there's enough bacon grease in there that I don't need to do it. And this one I'm going to do 2 pieces. Because this one's for Aaron. I want to make sure he gets it. Like, Isabel's hit or miss. She's hit or miss, so we'll see. We're still at that picky toddler stage where sometimes we eat it, sometimes we don't, and we have a choice between this or banana. Or, you know, a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I will make her one of those. And then Aaron would eat the grilled cheese. And these won't take long to cook at all. Keep it from falling apart. And I like to move it around just to get all of that extra bacon grease off of the bottom of the skillet. It works really well. Just kind of scooch it around into the skillet. So let me know in the comments below, like, what are you eating this week? I'd love to hear. Are you a bulk cooker like me where you cook 1 big meal and that's what y'all have? Or you cook multiple meals and that's what you have? Or are you just like I need to cook every day person? I don't like cooking every day if I can help it. I much prefer to split my cooking up because to me it's just a little bit easier. We'll get a plate here. And yes, I have paper plates. I do. I know. Julie, you have paper plates right now. This worn down mom needs paper plates. Just because they make my life a little bit easier some days, and that's just what we're. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfection. Nothing's worse than when you make a grilled cheese and it gets burnt. Like, I prefer it to be like barely toasted, but I like most of my stuff. If I eat it, I want it barely, like, I want my pancakes just brown enough to be done. I want my toast just brown enough to be crunchy. I'm like just barely at that point where it's done. I'm not I don't want it almost burnt. Like, I'm like terrified it's going to be burnt, then I have to come over here and scrape it off. Aaron doesn't mind as much as long as he doesn't taste the burn. So if I accidentally burn something, it typically becomes Aaron's, and I just scrape off the burn part. If he can't tell, if he can tell, then I'll go make him another one. There we go. There's Aaron's. And here's Isabel's. Bacon grease is a wonderful way to make your grilled cheese sandwiches. It really does work. And there they are. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up making plates. Aaron's going to come in and taste test, and we'll see how I did.
Okay.
Long time no see.
I know. So, this is...
There's chicken nuggets that I just made into like a casserole. I like the way your eyes lit up. It's got a little heat to it.
That's good.
I use that New Orleans seasons we like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You like that?
I do.
The soup is hot.
Tomato soup.
That's hot too.
Not really.
It's not. I just took it off the stove. Is it good?
It's good. That's good cheese. Now what I'm interested the most in is this.
He's forgotten it.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Let's see. That's pretty good.
I know. I knew you liked it before.
I like that. So it's you taste the banana in the bread, and you taste the berries.
We're drawing.
Okay. Really like that. So, I don't know. I could eat that too.
You do that too? It's your favorite?
That's really good. I was really surprised about that. But you know, make sure to go over and check out our link tree, which has all of our other content. You know, if you haven't liked, subscribed to our channel already, would really appreciate if you do that as well. And you know, make sure to leave a comment down below. See what you thought of all this. You know, got any ideas you want to see us, you know, explore on too. You know, leave that down too. And
thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.